Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise on complex topics, and today we're diving into the future of organizations.
That's right. And specifically, how they're being powered, really reshaped by AI.
Yeah, AI. You've probably heard so much chatter, everything from, job fears to these amazing new tools.
Mm-hmm.
But our goal today is simple. Give you a clear, evidence-based look at how AI is fundamentally changing business. And we're drawing on some really solid research.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff because we're not just talking small tweaks here, incremental improvements. This is potentially a fundamental shift in how value is created.
Okay.
Our insights today, they come from an upcoming book called The AI-Centered Enterprise, Reshaping Organizations with Context-Aware AI. It's by Ram Bala, Natarajan Balasubramanian, and Amit Joshi.
Right.
And these authors, they bring this really powerful mix of expertise, operations, strategy, marketing, actual AI implementation. It gives us a great end-to-end view.
Okay, so let's unpack that. What does it actually mean for a company to be AI-centered?
Well, it's not just, slapping some AI onto what you already do.
Right, not just another tool.
Exactly. It's about fundamentally rethinking the whole organization, but looking at it from an information processing angle. How does information flow? How is it used?
I think this is going to lead to some real aha moments for people. Let's get into it. So I bet a lot of you listening, maybe like Joel, the marketing manager they mentioned in the book, you're probably wondering, okay, how does this generative AI stuff affect my job, my team, my business?
It's a very real concern.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You see headlines, right? Copywriters losing work to ChatGPT.
Yeah, or those stats about, 80% of the U.S. workforce seeing tasks affected by GPTs?
Mm-hmm. That's the kind of thing that gets people worried. And understandably so.
So the big question hangs there. Is AI just a tool, or is it something much bigger?
That's really the core question the authors tackle. And, the arrival of ChatGPT back in late 2022, that was clearly an inflection point.
It exploded, didn't it? Over 100 million users in 2 months?
Insane growth. And the impacts were immediate, sometimes stunning. Like Freshworks, the software company. They cut the time to build complex apps from 10 weeks down to less than one using ChatGPT.
Oh. Okay.
So the authors argue this isn't just automation, it's about a new kind of AI. They call it context-aware AI.
Context-aware AI. And that context-aware bit, that's the crucial part, isn't it?
It really is. It's not just about the AI understanding the words you type. It's about it grasping your intent, the broader situation.
Moving beyond just generic answer.
Exactly. Getting to responses that are actually personalized, relevant to your specific need right then. This ability, understanding context from language, that used to be uniquely human.
Right.
And that's what makes this context-aware AI potentially so revolutionary.
Okay, so if it's that powerful, how does this transformation actually play out inside companies? The book lays out, 3 stages?
Yeah, 3 distinct stages. It sort of builds up from the individual right out to the whole market.
Let's start at the beginning then.
Okay, stage 1 is actually already happening in lots of places. It's the individual task level. This is where organizations become AI-enabled.
So improving how one person does their job, making them more efficient.
Precisely. Think about a marketing agency using AI for, first drafts of content or basic news stories, or HomeServe USA using chatbots for everyday customer questions.
Right, handling the routine stuff.
Yeah, and the key is it cuts down massively on the time and cost that used to be spent just understanding the context of those individual tasks.
Okay, that makes sense, helping individuals. But the book argues it goes further, right, to how people interact.
Yes, and this is where, for me, it gets really transformative.
Yeah.
Level 2, the interaction level. This is where context-aware AI starts reshaping how people exchange ideas, goods, services, both inside and outside the company.
Can you give an example? Because interactions can be messy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Think about the inefficiency today. A product manager and a designer might go back and forth, meetings, emails, just to get clear on a simple screen mock-up.
Been there.
Or immigration lawyers spending weeks, literally weeks, on non-billable work, just gathering all the necessary evidence for a visa application. So much of that is coordination, clarification.
So how does AI streamline that? Isn't that more complex than just automating a single task?
It is. Older AI was good with structured data, automating repetitive stuff. But context-aware AI works with unstructured data language, images, conversations.
Oh, okay.
Its strength is enhancing perception and reasoning with that messy, unstructured information. So it aims to automate those routine, repetitive human interactions that get bogged down. The authors point out a huge chunk of that back and forth is simply clarifying context.
Right. What did you mean by that? Can you show me again?
Exactly. Context-aware AI targets that specific friction point, reducing all that unproductive time spent coordinating, clarifying, sharing expertise.
Okay, individual tasks, then interactions. What's the final level?
The final level is the marketplace level. This is where context-aware AI can, as the authors put it, truly unshackle organizations.
Unshackle. How so?
It moves beyond those typical linear interactions. Two people talking, or maybe a small group in sequence. It enables a more dynamic marketplace approach.
A marketplace inside the organization.
Potentially, yes. Or across organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Think about AI mediating platform-based interactions between lots of different participants.
Mm-hmm.
It can lead to much better matchmaking, finding the right person, the right resource, and better problem-solving overall.
So, less reliance on traditional hierarchies.
That's the idea. The book suggests an internal marketplace, guided by context-aware AI, could actually free up executives and creatives to focus on the really high-level strategic thinking instead of getting bogged down in coordination.
That's a fascinating vision. It seems like a core problem this AI tackles is something we all feel just being buried in information.
Absolutely. Information overload.
Mm-hmm.
Herbert Simon talked about it back in the 70s, said organizations swim in an exceedingly rich soup of information.
And the constraint isn't getting the info, it's processing it.
Precisely. And, well, that soup has only gotten thicker since the 70s, hasn't it?
Mm.
And historically, all that unstructured stuff, emails, reports, social media chatter, humans had to process it.
Wait.
We're good at it, but slow, limited, expensive, especially at scale.
Right, the cost goes up fast when there's too much.
Exactly. The cost curve is steep, convex. Costs actually rise again when you hit overload. So organizations create workarounds. Boilerplate contracts, simple 2x2 strategy matrices.
Yeah.
They simplify, even if it means missing nuance.
So how does context-aware AI change that dynamic?
By tackling that unstructured information at scale, it essentially flattens that processing cost curve.
Okay.
Suddenly, organizations can mine way more of that unstructured data, relaxing those old constraints. It enables a much broader search for information, for solutions within the organization.
It sounds like a foundational shift, maybe like how remote work tech enabled fully remote companies.
That's a great analogy. The authors call this business information re-engineering. It's not just tweaking processes, it's re-engineering the information flow itself, turning static, linear interactions into dynamic, platform-mediated ones.
Okay, so to achieve this, the AI needs to be good at, well, thinking. How does it work?
It boils down to enhancing two core parts of how humans make decisions: perception and reasoning.
Perception and reasoning.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Even back in 1969, an HBR article was talking about this. A two-step journey. The perception step, digesting data, seeing patterns, or the reasoning stage, thinking through options, drawing conclusions. Context-aware AI helps with both.
Can you break that down? What does perception look like for the AI?
Perception is about contextualization and generation. So take Sasha, the operating room nurse example from the book. Perception means the AI understands the patient's specific history, that's contextualization. Then it generates several possible pre-op plans.
Okay, so it sees the situation and creates options. What about reasoning?
Reasoning is about selection and evaluation. Sasha, the nurse, would look at the plans, rank them, select the best one. Then, after the surgery, feedback is collected to evaluate how well it worked. That improves future decisions.
How does this apply in a business AI context?
Good question. Think about climate field view in agriculture. It takes vast amounts of data to profile land contextualization. Then it proposes different cropping options generation. It calculates likely yield selection, and finally assesses the actual harvest evaluation.
Got it. Any other examples?
Well, there's Alpha Proof and Alpha Geometry from Google. These AIs tackled International Mathematical Olympiad problems.
Whoa, serious stuff.
Yeah, solved 4 out of 6, equivalent to a silver medal. They turned the problems into symbolic form, contextualization, generated potential answers, generation, used a specialized reasoning engine called Lean to check the proofs, selection, and then a human expert judged them, evaluation.
That's impressive. But these things aren't perfect, right? You hear about AI fails. Where do things go wrong in that process?
Absolutely. Failures can happen at any step. Remember the lawyer who cited fake cases from ChatGPT?
Yeah, that was bad.
That was a failure in the selection step.
Mm-hmm.
The AI generated plausible-sounding stuff, but it wasn't factually accurate.
Okay, what else?
There was that U.S. healthcare algorithm showing racial bias. It wrongly equated lower spending on Black patients with better health. That's a failure of contextualization missing crucial context.
Right. And Zillow's iBuying.
Their AI couldn't predict house prices accurately enough. That's an evaluation failure. The model wasn't learning and adapting correctly based on results.
So perception and reasoning are key, but getting them right requires the right tech underneath.
Exactly. This is where the book emphasizes knowledge graphs for perception and intelligent agents for reasoning.
Knowledge graphs, like mapping connections between data.
Precisely. They hold the relationships, the context. Crucial for unstructured data, like complex shipping contracts in trucking, for example. They help the AI understand the connections.
And intelligent agents.
Think of them as software entities that perceive, decide, and act, like the Voyager agent that learned to play Minecraft really well. You can build these agents for specific roles, a procurement analyst agent, a lawyer agent. Aiming for what the authors call the ABC metrics. Highly accurate, brief, and consistent responses, especially important for complex tasks.
Okay, this is making sense. We understand the potential, the building blocks, but how does a company actually do this? Go from theory to practice?
Right. This is often where things stall.
Yeah.
Companies get stuck doing endless proof of concept.
Valid purgatory.
Exactly. So the authors introduced the 3C framework: Calibrate, Clarify, and Channelize. It's a systematic way to move beyond just experimenting.
Okay, calibrate, clarify, channelize. Let's take the first C. Calibrate. What's that about?
Calibrate is about understanding the maturity of the AI you need and the level of precision required for a specific job.
Yeah.
You look at two things: the data type structured or unstructured, and the precision needed high or low.
So matching the tool to the task.
Pretty much. Traditional machine learning is great for structured data, high precision like predicting delivery times. But for unstructured data, say comparing risk disclosures in company reports, generative AI is key, especially if some variation is okay.
And for high-precision tasks with that messy, unstructured data, that's where those ABC metrics, accuracy, brevity, consistency, become vital.
Absolutely, especially when dealing with a long tail, all those non-standard documents and situations.
You mentioned AI model maturity earlier. How does that fit into calibration, those 4 stages?
Right. So for those high-precision unstructured data use cases, the models evolve. First, you have the basic out-of-the-box generative AI, like a standard ChatGPT 4.0. Good for low precision, but often struggles with accuracy and consistency when you need high precision.
Okay, the generalist.
2, then basic RAG Retrieval-Augmented Generation. You give the AI your company documents to ground it. Better accuracy, but still limited complex reasoning.
Giving it the company handbook.
Next, RAG with knowledge graphs, like Microsoft's GraphRag. Now, the AI understands connections between your documents. Better context, but reasoning is still somewhat limited.
It knows how the handbook chapters relate.
4, finally, the most advanced, reasoning agents with knowledge graphs. Systems like SAMVID. These separate the language generation from sophisticated reasoning processes. They can think more complexly, combine information from different sources, understand intricate rules like figuring out shipping discounts based on package size and specific contract clauses, far beyond a standard LLM.
Got it. So Calibrate is about picking the right level of tool for the job's precision needs. What's the second C? Clarify.
Clarify is about understanding the strategic impact. And here's a counterintuitive point. Even a low-precision AI application can have high strategic impact.
How does that work?
Think about fragmented data, an agri-tech company with experts spread globally. They can't easily access each other's field notes on crop yields or weather patterns. An AI that can just summarize relevant documents, even imperfectly, provides huge strategic value. It connects knowledge that was previously locked away in silos.
Like companies such as Glean or Perplexity Enterprise are doing now, connecting internal knowledge.
Exactly. It's about unlocking the value in information you already have, but can't easily access or synthesize.
Okay, so calibrate the tool, clarify the strategic value. What's the third C? Channelize.
Channelize is all about adoption and implementation. How do you roll this out effectively? It involves finding quick wins, identifying areas where you can really lead, but also knowing when not to use the latest AI.
Knowing when to stick with older tech.
Sometimes, yes. Take AI customer service bots. We've seen examples of Air Canada's bot giving bad refund advice that Chevy bot tricked into selling a car for $1.
Right, the hallucination problem.
Exactly. In those cases, older supervised machine learning might actually be more reliable and less risky. Channelize is about making smart choices about where and how to deploy AI.
So how do you make those choices? How do you pick the right opportunities?
The book suggests evaluating based on impact on perception, like can it tap into unused data? Can it document routine things well? Then reasoning, our accuracy needs modest. Are there few tricky interdependencies? And finally, risk is it automating boring tasks? What are the privacy issues?
And keeping an open mind, like that glass manufacturing example, not just automating the old way.
That's the key mindset shift. Don't just ask, how can AI do what humans do? Ask, how can AI enable us to do things fundamentally differently, leveraging information in new ways?
Okay, the three C's provide a roadmap, but making this happen involves big changes across the organization: people, process, technology.
Definitely. Let's start with people. The immediate worry is skills and jobs.
Yeah, the displacement fear.
AI's impact here can be varied. The book outlines 4 possibilities. 1, decreased demand for skills, AI substitutes. Think basic paralegal research, some copywriting jobs. The Writers Guild strike was partly about this.
Okay.
2, increased demand for complementary skills. If AI makes finding information cheap, you need more people to evaluate that information. It's Jevons paradox, again, like ATMs leading to more bank tellers initially because banking became more accessible.
Interesting. So new demands emerge.
3, new skills needed for the same role. People learning to use AI copilots effectively. We saw studies where 2/3 of white-collar workers using AI felt more productive.
Learning to work with the AI.
4, and finally, completely new roles emerging. Prompt engineers are the obvious example right now.
So it's not just about loss, but also transformation and creation.
Yeah.
How do companies manage that? Like IKEA retraining staff?
Exactly. Reskilling and upskilling are crucial, but also aligning incentives. The book mentions ideas like data cooperatives, systems like Swash or Datum, where individuals control and maybe even monetize their own data or expertise that trains AI.
Turning fear into an opportunity to participate.
That's the potential, shifting the dynamic so workers want to contribute their knowledge to the AI systems.
Okay, that covers people. What about process? You mentioned it's not classic business process reengineering.
Right, it's business information reengineering. The focus shifts. Instead of just mapping process steps, you analyze how perception, reasoning, and especially unstructured information create value.
Moving beyond those linear flows.
Yes. Think about e-commerce. Often, the digital team optimizing the website and the logistics team managing warehouses operate separately.
Right, in silos.
But their decisions are deeply intertwined. Customer experience, shipping costs, context-aware AI dashboards could integrate their data, allowing them to optimize together for the overall best outcome.
That makes sense. And if one part of the process gets better with AI, it affects others down the line.
Absolutely. That's about managing growth and complementary assets. If sales gets better at analyzing customer needs with AI, maybe production planning sees that better data and realizes they could use AI too. Then supply planning, procurement.
A chain reaction?
Yeah, like a domino effect. Similar to how sales and operations planning tries to connect different functions, companies need to anticipate and plan for these knock-on effects. Startups like Sam Vidnagar are building tools specifically for this.
So over time, the whole structure might shift.
Gradually, yes, a structural reshaping. Think about how we all learned when it makes sense to shop online versus going to a physical store. Organizations will similarly adapt and restructure around these new information capabilities.
Okay, people, process. Finally, technology. What are the big tech hurdles or risks?
There are several critical ones. First, privacy and security. Context-aware AI often needs sensitive data. Strict protection, secure storage are non-negotiable. The book suggests tiered access public, high for internal, highest for critical isolated data.
Makes sense.
Bias. Both social bias, AI learning stereotypes from data, and statistical bias making wrong conclusions due to missing information.
A major ongoing concern.
Hallucinations, we talked about this, AI making stuff up, still probably the biggest barrier for many businesses. Mitigation strategies involve tight constraints or using argue systems grounded in real company data. Detection tools are also getting better.
Like that Asian banks detector.
Right, claim 90% accuracy, so progress is being made.
Okay, what other tech challenges?
Explainability. Why did the AI recommend this? Crucial in fields like medicine or finance. There's a study showing radiologists actually felt more uncertain using AI if its findings didn't match theirs because they couldn't easily understand its reasoning. They need ways to interrogate the AI.
Trust. And interestingly, overtrust can be as risky as mistrust.
Yeah.
Blindly following AI without checks. Regular audits like quality control are needed.
And finally, myopia and de-skilling. Users becoming too reliant on AI, maybe missing the big picture or losing their own skills over time.
Wow, quite a list of considerations on the tech side.
It's crucial to manage these risks proactively.
So far, we've focused mainly on the enterprise. But the book also looks beyond, at societal implications.
Yes, particularly how context-aware AI might address Baumol's cost disease.
The problem where costs in sectors like healthcare and education keep rising without matching productivity gains because they're so labor-intensive.
Exactly, and context-aware AI could potentially help break that cycle.
How so? In healthcare first.
In healthcare, the potential is huge. Revolutionizing disease detection, diagnosis, creating personalized treatment plans, speeding up drug discovery. Dr. Bruce Teissies points out AI can help with two knowledge gaps. Not knowing what is known, basically. Tapping into the vast existing medical literature and not knowing what remains unknown, helping drive new scientific discoveries.
That's profound. What about the environmental cost of all this AI compute power?
That's a critical point. The idea of efficient AI is becoming just as important as responsible AI. We need AI that processes more information using less energy. And companies like Microsoft are researching this, developing more energy-efficient chips. Sustainability is key.
Okay, healthcare. What about education? Another sector struggling with costs and access.
Yeah, AI could tackle spiraling costs and improve access, especially in developing nations. Think personalized learning with AI tutors like Duolingo uses, or tools like Kangaroo's AI or Gradescope, helping teachers with grading and feedback, freeing them up for more interaction.
Beyond individual learning.
It could mediate complex group projects for students, and even potentially democratize basic education globally. Remember Dr. Sugata Mitra's hole-in-the-wall experiments?
Where kids in slums taught themselves using computers left accessible to them.
Right. AI could potentially scale that kind of self-directed, facilitated learning dramatically.
So, wrapping this all up, what's the big takeaway for our listeners?
I think the core message from the AI-centered enterprise is that AI isn't just another tech trend. It's really a fundamental shift.
Moving beyond just being AI-enabled to becoming truly AI-centered.
Exactly. It's about leveraging this context, aware AI, understanding content, and intent to tackle information overload and reshape how work gets done at every level. Tasks, interactions, even whole marketplaces.
And doing it requires that systematic approach, the 3 Cs: calibrate, clarify, channelize, really thinking through the people, process, and tech implications.
Yes, and crucially, adopting that mindset shift, not just fitting AI into old boxes, but reimagining value creation through this new lens of information processing.
And ultimately, the potential here goes beyond just business efficiency. It touches on enhancing quality of life, maybe solving some really big societal challenges.
That's the hope and the opportunity, which leaves us with a question for you, the listener, to think about.
As this context-aware AI keeps developing, where do you see the biggest opportunities for rethinking your own work, your organization, maybe even parts of your daily life?
And what's the first step you might take to start exploring that transformation?